Like Hubert.
Yeah, he was put together.
Now, a lot of these guys were extremely talented workers. Billy G.A.O.W's exceptional worker. Billy G.A.O.W's was, some people don't know this, was Fred Kohler's booker. And he was the guy that coined a lot of phrases that are used today. The word jabroni came from Billy G.A.O.W's.
Gotcha.
The reference to the booker as being called the pencil came from Billy G.A.O.W's. And the reason is Billy G.A.O.W's did all of his booking with a pencil. Because if something happened and you were a squirrel, just erase you.
Sure.
You know? And that's how you could be out of this business just that fast. And back in those days. You know, do something wrong or, you know, step out of line huge and you would be gone. Some of you must know the story about some guy in Minneapolis that worked for Vern that was smarting people up in the Park District. And they put him in a match with Bockwinkel and Stevens.
What era?
It had to be the 70s.
Sounds like
Had to be the
70s.
70s.
Sonny would know that story.
Sonny would probably know.
Yeah.
And they put him in a match with Bockwinkel and Stevens. And they had Ray pile driving on the floor twice.
Yeah.
And rang his bell for him, huge. You know. That was the kind of stuff they do to you back then. You know.
They had to. They had to protect our
They had to
industry.
protect the business. Exactly.
A person that sort of gets lumped into that idea. He was a little later than this sort of like 50s, 60s, even 70s time period, but still just kind of a name pretty much everywhere we went was Bruiser Brody.
Brody?
Brody, what were sort of the experiences with everybody in seeing Brody live? Because I mean, he's a mythical figure for many people.
He's amazing.
I mean, Pete, what are your feelings?
I was never a fan of Bruiser Brody.
Okay.
I didn't think he was a good worker. I thought he treated the other people like he was very self-centered, and I think the fact that he died the way he did has turned him into
A legend.
a legend. And I think if he would have still been around, I don't think he would have been as revered as he is now. It's just my opinion. Not to be cruel, but I heard that when some of the boys found out that he got stabbed, they bought rounds for everyone, wherever they
Right.
were.
I heard that same story.
So, he didn't impress me in the ring at all. I thought he had zero talent in the ring. Not at all. So, I'm not a big Bruiser Brody fan, never was.
Are you a brawler fan, or what? Did you have a style that you're more a fan of? Or?
I really don't like to be put in the classification of
Fair
what kind
enough.
of a brawler fan. It depended on the person, you know,
Okay.
it depended on the personality. Some faces I liked, some heels I liked. One thing I did like about that era that I can't stand now is I don't like the tweener. I don't like that whole thing. You know, I like good versus evil
Right.
kind of thing, and I think that's something that's sorely lacking in the business today. You have to have the passion of good, you know, good versus evil kind of thing, and I think that's what really sold the Bucks. You know, one of the wrestlers, you know, just off the top of my head, that was evil at one time, and then Vern made a mistake and turned him face. Dr. X, during his heyday, was despised by everyone. And he wrestled Bill Watts at the amphitheater, and I'm going to say they main evented 4 times in a row at the amphitheater, and they sold out each time. And that's something that would be unheard of today.
How often were they wrestling at the amphitheater? Was
Like
it
once
a month?
every month.
Okay.
Sometimes they did twice. They did two shots. They did
Two shots, yeah.
But
Not
then-
often, but they did.
Right. The average was once a month.
Yeah.
And they always sold out.
Yeah.
Every show I went to, I think he sold out for like
Yeah.
45, 50 times in a row. And I remember the Great Blizzard of '67, they had a show that Saturday that was called off. And people were pissed.
Yeah.
They were upset.
Yeah, they were.
They wanted to go to the amphitheater, and the fact that
Oh, the
Just-
snow was over by then.
it was over.
Snowing anymore.
The city was totally at a standstill, and
Absolutely.
the main event that night was Killer Kowalski against Mad Dog Vachon for the title. And,
That would have been huge.
Pete, did you like Stan Hansen?
No,
Feel about the same way about
kind of the same way about
Brody?
Bruiser Brody. I think, first of all, I think, you know, it's kind of going ahead a little bit, but I think towards the end of not the end, but in the 80s of the AWA, Vern lost a lot of my respect when he basically out the title a couple of times.
Sure.
He did it with Hansen because I guess there was a deal with Baba in Japan, and that was the deal to give Hansen the belt. And the biggest job he did was when he gave the belt to Otto Vance, who was the biggest tub of shit to ever hold the AWA belt. And from what I heard, Vance paid Gaga $50,000 to give him a trip to Austria.
Yep. Unbelievable.
So Stan Hansen, his whole claim to fame was that he broke Bruno Sammartino's neck because he wasn't a good worker.
Yeah.
And he was a god in Japan. I think he was raking down the big bucks in Japan.
Him and Brody.
Blind as a bat.
Him and Brody,
I
but
thought those
blind
guys.
as a bat outside the ring.
Yeah. Inside too.
Outside he could wear
I've
glasses.
heard that I respect those guys. They're brawling, and because it was different, and because it drew money.
right.
You know, I respected that. And I liked when Brody first came in. You remember when he acted like an animal as King Kong Brody and he licked himself
Yeah.
when he was getting heat on Bruiser? I mean, I thought that was
Yeah.
cool. Again, you know, he was like a next generation to me, wild man like Sheik.
Yeah,
You know, and close to it. And the look, you know. I liked the money that he drew in Texas. You know, I liked that. I liked how they would bring Red River Jack in. You know what I mean? When he lose town, lose the loser leave town match. But I talked to Jose, to Invader, about what happened. And the reason I asked him is because I want him to sell. I want him to write a book to sell, to tell his side of it. You know. And I'd heard from people different stuff about it and different sides of it and all that. And it's like you said, you know, what Jose basically said was he was the booker at the time. And this stemmed back from when Jose would come to the States and work, and they would work in New York for other companies. Bruiser would knock the shit out of him. He would beat the shit out of him legitimately. You know, he didn't have any respect for him whatsoever. And I think Brody was prejudiced. You know, I don't know, I didn't know the guy, but this is Jose's side of it. So they went in the shower. Jose had the book. Bruiser came at him, and he said, I just thought I'd had enough, and I stabbed him. It was self-defense, I swear to God.
You always carry around a butcher knife?
Down there, even to this day, most of the Puerto Ricans down there, because
I'm
it
sure
is
they
so
do.
rough, are armed.
Yeah.
They had local indie guys here from Chicago from the 80s that wrestled for Windy City.
Yeah.
The Dream Warriors.
Sure.
Okay. They went
Yeah.
down there because they were hot for a little while.
Yeah, they came in for Carlos.
Yeah, they were for
Yeah.
Carlos. They were supposed to be there 4 months.
Yeah.
They lasted about 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, you got
because they were threatened every night and attacked every night. And and these are young. And at the time they were big kids,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah, they
were
weren't little.
but they were young.
Blitz,
They
tough.
were like 23, 24.
Yeah.
And this is a whole new world. Leaving Chicago, where you're protected,
Yeah.
literally inside and outside the ring.
At least
Yeah,
sort of,
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know,
and then they went there, and these people are, I mean, from
Crazy.
5-year-old little boys to 90-year-old women want to kill you.
Well, they're throwing cups of urine on you.
Yeah.
They're
all kinds of
F-bombing
bottles at you.
The kids are
They-
F-bombing you at 5 years old.
And they were-
I got hit with
Parents don't
3
say
darts.
anything. Yeah.
But they
Puerto
were,
Rico.
They were wrestling in areas where, like, chicken wire was put up to protect the wrestlers from the fans.
Yep.
You
And all
know,
the crap goes against
you know, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they say it was absolutely nuts. They would never go back again.
And San Juan is
And they never did.
virtually lawless. I mean, the cops there are so cool.
Oh,
You know,
It's just that's just a guy with a uniform.
you know, Casey James, he lasted there 14 months. You know, and you got to be in his mind frame and really want it, I think, to be able to last that long there. But
he was a heel there?
he was a heel there. He
Oh,
did the
dear.
old Piper gimmick where he came out with the pig, but precursed the pig as the most beautiful woman he's met in Puerto Rico. You know? And then the pig took it. He grabbed the turd and whipped it into the crowd for heat. Oh,
I should get people's attention.
yeah, right.
I remember hearing Roddy Piper doing sort of his gimmick out in, I think it was it San Francisco or Los Angeles when he was out there, and he did some dastardly thing, and he maligning the Mexican people, and he said, all right, next week I'll apologize,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'll play the Mexican national anthem on my bagpipes. So he goes into the arena, he apologizes, and then starts playing La Cucaracha with his bagpipes, and they damn near had to close the show down because
That's
people were
awesome.
just pissed. They were furious.
Well, he stole that pig thing from Piper, but it hadn't been done for 20 years, you know, so.
You
That was gonna
mentioned,
be
you
hot.
mentioned getting
Yeah.
pelted with things being in the front row at the amphitheater.
I got hit with eggs, ball bearings,
People had terrible aim.
Change.
loose change was another thing.
Yeah, let's change. Cups of beer.
Ice probably,
Cups
yeah.
of beer I got tossed on me one time. They were aiming for a wrestler whose name I forgot, and the wrestler ducked.
Oh,
Moved
man.
out of side and got me.
Wow.
The amphitheater was a wild place. Sounds like it. I mean, it was
Sound
wild.
like Puerto Rico, Pete.
There was no barriers. You can literally put your feet up and on the
mat.
on the mat and lean back and watch a match.
Oh, no.
That
Back
would've-
then, absolutely.
I don't know why the seats were so close to the ring. If it was just the money,
It was the money.
they got as many seats as possible. And when the wrestlers got tossed out of the ring,
Oh, Christ.
You were right on
They
the
land
people.
on your lap.
they would land on your lap literally. And sometimes, a couple of times, the wrestler literally went over me and landed in the
man.
second row.
Oh, man.
So
When I was managing Papa, again, absolutely no barricades anywhere. The length from the ring to the first row chairs was about like this.
Arms
This
length,
is where
huh?
this is where
Yeah.
the first. This is where the edge of the chair started going backwards, and they could reach out and touch someone in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. That's why there were so many knifings. I got my bell rung several times by marks. Never in a ring, but one time in the ring. But every other time it was, by fans. In riots where they call them the National Guard to get you out of it, then you know you got heat.
Yeah.
When you have to barricade yourself in the locker room while fans are shooting at you with guns through the windows, and you're laying under benches up against lockers trying to fear for your life, then you know how to get some heat. Till 88.
89 till 91, when me and Ronnie P. Gossett used to leave the Louisville Gardens, we'd have to be surrounded by 6 to 8 cops. Because they would try to run through the cops to grab us. I had some of that heat, but I got to give Ronnie credit for about 80% of it,
Did you ever have marks follow you?
Oh yeah, well that's what I screwed up. This one was really honest, and he was reaching through the cops, and there were so many the cops couldn't just single one guy out. So as I was getting into my truck, I hocked a loogie right in his face. Ronnie smacks me in the back of the head as hard as he goes, "You stupid moron! What the hell's the matter with you?" And they call me the faggot, And they followed us almost all the way back to Nashville, Because I learned the hard way, though,
I recently saw footage of, I guess, a pretty famous incident in Cleveland with Ox Baker and Ernie Ladd.
oh yeah,
Oh my God.
yes.
And the riot that happened as a result of Ox Baker giving the hard
Yes.
punch to Ernie Ladd over and over. And I don't remember who it was that helped him. I want to say it was
Johnny Powers.
Johnny Powers. Watching Johnny Powers haul ass from the ring, being chased
Right.
by fans, and having to leap over the hockey barricade to get away from these fans.
That was on Bob Luce for God knows how many
Yeah,
weeks.
he milked that
he
sucker.
played that out
Sure.
to hype up Ox coming in.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he did.
Ox came in.
That was
like
an
a
amazing
hurricane.
story.
That angle, I think, was amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't Bruiser do a job for him right in the beginning when he
Right,
came?
yeah.
Yeah.
One of Bruiser's philosophies was the way to get a heel over is you lay down for him at first, right away. He says, because then they be the best guy that we've got here.
It's credible.
Right. So immediate credibility. And now you can start to build the guys and tell the story.
Sure.
Until they finally meet Bruiser and Crusher in that cage. And they blow it off.
Gotcha.
And pops the roof off this place. Bruiser was extremely smart in knowing that and doing that. So many other guys we've talked about earlier where it's just, this promotion is just a fantasy for them and run around and be king of absolutely nothing. In the long run,
Sure, yeah, you're right,
I'm
you're
king
right.
of Crystal Lake. Good for you. Thank God. God bless you. Or whatever town it is, It don't matter, But knowing that and putting that into effect really got that heel over. Exactly. I mean, if you could kick the Bruiser down.
Lawler used to do the same thing.
Oh, sure.
Remember, what's his...
Guys who were smart.
Papa Shango, at the time he was wrestling a Soul Taker. He had 6 matches, and Lawler put him over in the middle of the ring and handed the title over in Memphis. But they drew money with him.
Sure. Well, just the first time Hawk got up from the pile driver.
Oh, man.
That put the Road Warriors over in Memphis till the end of time.
I don't think, I've read some of the stuff you post about that, and I'm with you. I don't think it was cool, but I think it would have been cool if it didn't set a trend and if he didn't do it in any other match.
Right. They refused to sell.
Yeah.
And that, I didn't like that.
Exactly.
You know, that didn't get any points.
And then every other a-hole that had a thick neck in every other territory started doing it.
Right,
you know?
popping up.
Well, Bruiser would sell.
Yeah. Oh, it
Right up
balls
until
off.
the time for his comeback.
Yeah.
And then he got wild-eyed,
And it was
Hulk
the
Hogan
one-man
crazy.
riot squad.
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right. It's been a long night. I think we'll have to wrap it up for
We
this
could go
edition.
all night.
We
man.
could go all
took
night.
Viagra, Heidi.
Wow.
You terrify me, Randy.
If I get an erection lasting 4 hours, I'm calling everybody. I'm calling my doctor. He's the last
Put it
call
on the
I
message
make.
board.
It's going everywhere.
Hold on a second.
Randy, I've seen the pictures you leave on the message boards.
Hey, you know what's funny though? You never saw an after party pic after the mangina was put up there. That's why we did that. I thought,
We could only brought the turtle into that picture.
well, I thought at the time, these a-holes, they're out there working for nothing. They're working for the after party and out there doing this and that. At least act like you're a freaking heel. You can't be hugging and kissing, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe I'm half wrong. But I'm like, I got an idea to get that you know? So we took all these whack pictures and put them out there. People got, but you never saw another after party pic after the mangina. You know?
That was it.
True.
That was it.
I'd like to thank Nick H. for filming all of this, and hopefully it turns into some semblance of an interesting program for the people out there. Most importantly, I'd like to thank Pete the Pup for starting
My pleasure.
this whole thing, and
My
I
pleasure.
hope that you continue on with it. I hope we can do more of these.
I hope so.
Because we barely scratched the surface on anything.
You should write a
thank
book,
you.
my man.
Yeah, and
Your style is great.
You like that?
No bullshit.
Thank you.
It's very
Oh, no, you're a great writer.
Thank you.
I'd love to know how you got smart before we go away.
How I got smart?
How you got
Smart
smart
to the business.
That's what we call getting smart. Paul Christie and I were in a line one night at some place, like some Sizzler or something like that. It was the first time I ever met him. And I was working for him that night. But I had no idea he was part of Papo's promotion or nothing. You know, I thought I was working for Papo. One of the guys brought the ring in the night before, and I got to set up this erector set without ever doing this before in my life. What a good time. So Christie takes me out to some Sizzler restaurant. And while we're standing in line doing this, he goes, are you smart? I said, well, I'm not an idiot. And he cracked up. Just cracked up. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you get smartened up?
In a nutshell, when I was a freshman in high school, my gym teacher was a referee at the Marigold Gardens and the International Amphitheater, and he's the one that opened the curtain for me.
Sure.
And the first time I saw the dressing room, I was stunned because these guys weren't beating the shit out of each other.
Right.
And that just stunned me. I was like 13, 14 years old. But he's the one that got me smart, in a nutshell. But the thing was, there was an understanding that I was to keep my mouth shut.
Absolutely.
Protect the business, so to speak.
Right.
So I never told any of my high school friends. I never told anyone. My girlfriends, nobody. You know, like.
Well, you were an honorable man.
You know, I never said, oh, you know.
That's another lost start in this business.
You know, I just kept my mouth shut and let it go with that. And because of that, you know, I still have these memories that 40 years later, 45 years
And you
later.
could pass them on.
And you know, and like I said, it's special to me.
Yeah.
That's why I called it the golden age of wrestling. And you know, I get choked up just thinking about the amphitheater. What I wouldn't give just to go back there for one more card.
One more shot.
Just one more
Yeah,
card. You know, just unbelievable.
You know, we talked about that match with notable events. Where is it?
What was the referee's name?
Maury Friedman.
That's not it.
Ring a bell?
What are you looking for?
Right here.
Yeah, a little bit. I never met him, but I know the name.
He
Well,
died
you were
early.
probably a kid then too.
Oh yeah, of course I was.
He
But
died very early. He died of a heart attack.
But the guys on the board who hired me later
Sure.
knew them. Nick.
Sure.
Okay, and all those
Nick
guys.
was cool. He could act like a, but he was
I would say he
cool.
died
He had more honor
right
than
after I
Picillo.
graduated high school.
Huh?
He had a lot more honor, I thought, than Picillo. I didn't
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
Like here, this was the night you and I were both in the amphitheater together.
Right.
Watching Rogers and Valentine. If I could
Right.
go back to that match,
I was a little kid, probably with my father. Yeah.
yeah, if I could, that would be the match I'd want to go back to. It
Yeah.
was unbelievable.
Did you guys go to see that Windy City show, Nord versus Brody there?
I didn't.
I
Did
did
you
not.
go, Pete?
No.
Okay.
Which one?
Nord versus Brody?
At Windy City?
Yeah.
No.
For Windy City's like 88, 89.
That was before my time. I was running the stage at the Vic Theater,
Wow.
which is how I met Sam
Which is how you met
Cero, because he brought his production in there.
Yeah,
he had
I
a couple
worked Steve Regal in the main event 2 times there.
Do you remember the showers that we painted for you guys the night before you guys came in?
Yes, I do.
What did it say?
I remember you too. I don't remember what it said.
Hayes was under one shower, and Fabes
Oh, yeah.
was under the other.
Johnny Mercedes pointed it out to me, I think.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we didn't tell anybody anything. We just see if
Yeah.
the boys would pick up.
I think me, Joey Casana, and Johnny.
Yeah, they gave me all
Sonny.
those shows because my partner, I had nothing to do with the Vic other than,
Yeah.
running the stage and, hanging the lights and all that bullshit. Though that's not entirely true. The people at the Vic gave me I ran all the shows for Sam when he came in there because
I remember you in the green room.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. I had that little office in there.
Yeah.
Walked in that door, you were higher than a kite.
Yeah.
A number of different ways. Because I spoke their language.
Sure.
And I remember the first time Sam came in there, we had 4 concerts in a row, night after night after night, before Sam came in there, and it was on a Sunday.
It was a Sunday. We always went there on a Sunday.
Right. And so we, one of our guys we called the Cheeser, because he was from Milwaukee, and he was an ex-Marine that used to live at the building that, wasn't really kind of all there. He was like shell-shocked and stuff. And would go marching around in the middle of the night. It would get scary with him when he could load it. And the Cheeser was in charge of the snack bar and so forth. And so he would go and make sure that all the deli trays at the end of the night, instead of throwing package all this stuff up. And by the time you guys got there, we had pop and beer and water and deli trays and veggie trays and all of this stuff that we saved for you guys. We painted those showers the night before you guys came in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was too scared to eat because I laid like 4 or 5 matches and I'm working Steve Regal. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, right.
All right. Many thanks also to Chicago Pro Wrestling, ChicagoProBoards.com, I believe it is, for hosting the thread that Pete has used to start all of this. And thank you to all the guys on the panel, Joe, for setting this up, this round table. You got us the place.
I hope we do some more.
Bring the beautiful
bell,
bell.
Joe.
Ring the bell.
Hope you
I
do
don't
some
have my
more.
hammer with me. This is just a prop.
Oh, it's a gimmick.
Yeah, this is a gimmick.
right.
This is real. This isn't.
Let's see. Okay. How sad.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Randy, for your stories and everything
No
like
problem.
that. Helping us out. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll do more. And I'm done. Go away.
That's it.
Okay, fans, this is the moment of truth. Pepper Gomez is underneath the 1,800-pound Volkswagen, and I'm here leaning down now and leaning into Pepper because Pepper's on this in between the ramp here. And Pepper, are you all set?
I'm ready, Bob. I'm as ready as can be.
Okay, Pepper's as ready as he can be, and all I can tell you is, okay, wait a minute, Moose. Now, brakes off. Keep pushing on the back. Okay, guys, let's go. It's on his stomach. It's on his stomach. It's on his stomach, and he's doing some push-ups with it. Hey! Okay, off. That's terrific! Hey! Amigo! Terrific! Terrific! Oh, my God. Let's see that. Hey, get a tight shot. Look at that. Look at the tire marks, baby. Look out, brother. Hey. I want to tell you, that was an unbelievable feat. Unbelievable, man. Shocking. Outside, out of sight, man. I was a little concerned, man.
Well, you know, it's been a long time since I've done it, but I can tell you one thing. I'm glad it's over with. Nothing happened.
I would have never forgiven myself.
Than I thought it would be.
I'd never forgive myself if something happened to you, baby.
Oh, don't worry about it. I wouldn't have done it if I knew something was going to happen, Bob.
Well, hey, you're never going to tell. Anyway, I just want to say you did a tremendous job.
Thank you
and I
very
really
much.
appreciate what you did for me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Okay, that's Pepper Gomez, and we have some people here in the studio that watch this. And I want to thank, let the frame boys get out from in back there. Frame boys, get out of there, you know, move out. Get over here, old buddy, away from the thing. I want to talk to the driver here. Is he all out of there? Well, I tell you, wait! Hey, oh! Hey, take him off of there! Take him off! Take him off! You crispy Bob Luce! Hold it back! Let's get out of there.
Stand back, make room, Moose.
Gosh, must be a big celebrity coming.
Since the credit crunch, he's the biggest celebrity in Chicago's car business. Well, here he comes now. Stand back from his jet blast.
I'm only one answer to the high cost of living. If you need a car today, you probably need credit too. At Benz, you get them both.
You sure are a popular fellow.
Just doing my job, giving the credit Benz customers deserve.
Now available 1-year, 1,200-mile service policy, 30-day warranty on engine, trans, drive axle, brakes, steering, starter, and alternator. Time to buy an 80 Chevy Scottdale pickup. 1-year, 1,200-mile service policy available on this 80 Dodge motor home. Big savings on a 79 Chevy van. Best Buy in Chi, a 79 Dodge Trick van. Price to move, a 78 Chevy Trick van. Take charge of the road in a 74 Chevy pickup truck for only $24.58. See Credit Man, he hates to say no, fans. You deserve a better buy at a lower price, a quality Benz better runner. You deserve an 81 Plymouth Reliant Coupe. Save big bucks on a cleaner 80 Chevy Citation sedan. Benz delivers quality for less. Here's a 79 Olds Cutlass Supreme. Peace of mind is a promise in this sporty 78 Chevy Camaro. Full power road charger, a 78 Chevy Monte Carlo. Big surprise is the price. A 75 Caddy Coupe DeVille is only $18.58, fans. At 3939 Northwestern, where Credit Man hates to say no, fans. He won't say no. Okay, fans, it's Comiskey Park in Chicago. The date, August 27th, 1976. There's Dick the Bruiser, one of the most vicious, bloody cage matches in the history of professional wrestling is about to unfold before your very eyes. There's the Crusher, the mighty Crusher. And there's Bobby Heenan being marched to the ring. They're going to lock Bobby Heenan in the ring with Duncombe. That's Bobby Duncombe and Black Jack Lanza. They're going to lock him in the ring there. They're locking, securing the gate. Nobody gets out now until it's done with. Until this battle, this vicious, bloody battle is finished. We're showing you highlights at Comiskey Park, August the 27th, 1976. You're going to watch the blood run, baby. The blood will flow in this one. This is rough, wild, and no holes barred. The faces become masses of claret. Watch it. It's unfolding before your very eyes. One of the bloodiest cage matches in the history of professional wrestling. And the bloodiest. Right here in Chicago, 1976. Bruiser and the Crusher. The awesome duo. The awesome team. Never more savage than they were this night at Comiskey Park before 17,000 fans. Bruiser, look at that, pounding that right fist into the face, squashing that nose of Lanza's. Duncombe taking a powerhouse right into the side of the head. Duncombe is a mass of blood. Fans, let me tell you, if you get a little edgy, then slip on out of that chair and get out of the TV range, baby, because this is brutal. This is wild. Heenan is trying to